All right, you're right, Larry. Here we go. It's time for Larry's Garden. Joining us now, Larry ONeil. Today, he is talking to us about hydrangeas. Take it away, Larry.
All right. Hey, you've got shade, you don't have any color. Hydrangeas are the classical answer. Most people make mistakes on planting hydrangeas in too much shade. They want high filtered light or in the morning sun, in the afternoon shade. Some of the things I've always noticed when I go to landscapes is that I take a leaf and I look at the hydrangea trying to determine how much sun it can tolerate, and I take this leaf here and I kind of feel them, but if you could see a little bit, one is a little more waxy than the other. That's going to determine whether the hydrangea can take more sun. The ones that are more thin, papery feeling, that's going to take less sun. So when you're out in your landscape determining which type you're going to do, make sure you look at the leaves. What I really like to talk about now is, because they've done so much hydrangea in breeding, is the remote kind. That's the ones that's a complicated name, but the ones that rebloom. Here's a small one called Penny Mac. Okay. And the great thing about this hydrangea is dwarf, and also it has a small bloom.
Yep, and the colors. The
color is wonderful, and it reblooms. So if you deadhead, water, fertilize, you got a great plant. Oftentimes, we always talk about color combinations, but we're going to add another thing, texture. When we're looking at trying to reinforce our landscape and be more poignant with our landscape, we select plants that look similar in texture and have contrasting color. But you can see how this coleus is a shade coleus,
right?
And it likes to grow in the low light areas, but it has that roughly texture. You put this with a hydrangea, you have good contrast in color and in texture. Here's another plant. We're going on. It's a ligularia, but that's a wonderful plant. It grows in shade and has a flower. Here's a hydrangea that is about, oftentimes people ask me when do I cut and dry them, because they're a popular plant to cut and dry them. But here you can see, if you can get a close-up, I don't know if you can, but it's turning green, a very stiff-looking flower. It's starting to get to that stage where you can cut and dry in your house. Put them in your car. Your car trunk. They'll dry like overnight. But here's some other beautiful ones that are coming out on the market. If you love the white color, right, and you want the reblooming, here's Blushing Bride. This is a new introduction. This has been out maybe 3 years in white, deadhead, cut back, and you're going to have that color all summer long.
You only get the one flower there, though.
No, it will cover out. It's just starting. They're just starting to flower. And excuse me. Here's another variety that I really like. It's called a lace cap. You can see the difference between this flower and this flower. This has the purple flowers inside, and these are actually different. They're not really flowers, but they're the colorful part of the hydrangea. But this is a little more lacy, and it's a lace cap, and this is a variegated one. It has that interesting texture, interesting variegation in the foliage. Again, this one's going to take a little bit more sun, and it's a great plant in any foundation. They are deciduous, so sometimes we plant plants that look a little more full during the winter, and here's a fern. You could plant a fern with that. Again, talking about our texture, our ruffled look, our hydrangeas.
They look are they not tender, though? They look like they might.
They're tough plants. They can take it all the way to zone 2. If you want a little more, so you have a little more sunny area and you want hydrangea, here's our native hydrangea, hybridized native. This is oak leaf hydrangea. The flower's not as dramatic, but it does have a flower, rough looking foliage, a little texture on it, orange stems, deciduous in the winter. Right. That's when they lose their leaves, right? That's right. Okay.
You're the man. You should tell me.
Okay.
It's your job. All right. Thanks, Larry. We'll see you coming up next hour. For more information about gardening, log on to larrysgarden.com. That's why it's called Larry's Garden, buddy. Right. Or give him a call at Larry's Garden Design and Installation at 346-1970. And remember, you can hear Larry on the radio every Saturday morning at 8 on WOKV 690 AM and 106.5 FM. Well, still to come on the morning show.